all of these stories really true? Iona asked. She saw the distant look in his face, the glassiness of his eyes, and she wondered just where he had been and where he had just returned. That all depends, Iona, said the king slowly. It depends on who is writing them, and it also depends on who is reading them. All stories are true in a way. I guess it depends on what it is that you think the story is. She laughed. Then how is anyone supposed to know what the story is? If it's different for everyone, how is that a story? Alas, perhaps we only see ourselves in every story, Iona. Every story is a mirror. That is the epigram from a short story called The Story of the King, from a book called King Bartholomew, written by K. Scott Brown. And that, to me, that little epigram sums up maybe the entirety of what Kay and I have been doing for the last 10 or 15 years. We just love telling stories, whether it's in writing or in music. And why do we do that? Maybe partly we do it because we see ourselves in those stories. Anyway, greetings from the Book of Sorren. My main motivation for this video was to, as you can see from my shirt here, it was to highlight some of the stuff that's on our site that maybe people have not seen. What I'm going to refer to here is actually something not on the website. It's actually on Scott's Spotify channel. It's an album called The Udo Stories, The Diary of Udo, and the Temple Cat Diary, sorry. And it all got started with a book we wrote called The Curious Dream of Joachim Schnorvik. And that starts out, and it says at the beginning here that, let me find the page here. Based on an idea from Annette L. Brown. It was an idea to write a story for our children who actually are characters in the book. But in addition, there is a cat in here named Udo. And that's kind of where the whole idea of the Temple Cat Diary came from. Again, there's about 6 of these stories so far, and I just find those delightfully entertaining, and I think you should listen to them, and maybe you can find them half as interesting as I do. One more thing here, let's see. Since it is New Year's Eve, I was reminded of another story we wrote called The Simple New Year's Eve Party. And this was written right before Y2K, and Y2K was actually a thing that people worried about. And we wrote a little story about it. And at the end of this short story, Scott wrote this little poem, and I think it's pretty nice to maybe end the year on this. It goes like this. Love teaches us how to live. It teaches us how to cry. Love teaches us how to feel. It teaches us how to die. Love can bring us hope. It can warm the coldest heart. It can bridge the lonely reaches that keep us all apart. Our faith in love will teach us that when we love, we choose to look inside for something we've lost but never lose. Lastly, I'll send you out with a little music. Everybody be safe and have a great next year.